Ernie Live, and we are coming, I'm Ernie Manus, by the way, we're coming to you from the Hobby Center, where we just saw the opening night performance of The Lion King. With me, filling in for Walt, is Deborah. Hello, Deborah.
Hello, Ernie.
So you know, the job of Walt is always to take the questions from the audience at home. Let's introduce our guests.
Oh, that's a
Who do we have with us today?
We have Lion King royalty. We have the beautiful Sophia Stevens, who is...
Hi, guys. Hi.
And we have the beautiful Gerald Ramsey, who plays...
Thank you.
Well, remember, now we're going to be chatting with them, but this is up to you folks to post your questions. Deborah's going to be following along and seeing what you're asking, and then we'll let you come into the conversation. But it's really great to have Lion King back in Houston.
Thank you.
I guess it opened here originally 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But that's nothing compared to how many years you've been with the show.
That's correct. I have been with the show since 2004. I started in New York on Broadway, and I started touring in 2010. So, like, basically I've been going off and on, coming in and out of the tour for 7 years.
Wow,
Yeah.
7 years.
7 years.
So does it get tiresome, or how do you have to find something new in the character every time?
Honestly, you do, but realistically speaking, it's hard to do for 7 years, 8 shows a week, which is, it speaks a lot for me about how powerful this music is. The music, the story of the show, it keeps me going.
Yeah.
Like, it's therapeutic almost, so, you know, that's what makes it easier.
Gerald, how about you? What's your history with the show?
Well, I'm a baby. I've only been in the show for 2 years now, as of this July. Yeah.
Wow, 2 years in the show.
2 years in the show.
I'm curious, there is a moment in the show. Well, first of all, they always say I never explain what the show is, but I assume everyone knows the Lion King story. Which one of you wants to give the thumbnail sketch of what is the story?
Go ahead.
Oh man, this is a story that reaches around the world to no matter where you're from, right? So it's about families, it's about fathers and sons, and mothers and their sons and daughters, and it's about Simba, who's a young prince, reclaiming his rightful place at the throne. And there's point A and point B and a whole lot of things happening in between. Yeah.
Okay, that all said, it is a spectacular show, musically acted, but visually, and it's gotten a lot of attention. Julie Taymor, she did my other show, Interviews, and so we'll post that interview after this is done, so come back and check it out. But she talked a lot about the creation of these costumes, these puppets, the whole look of it. There's a point that I want to ask you about where you take off your head. I'm fascinated by that because what, as an actor, are you saying in that moment? Because I think we spend as an audience a lot of time looking at the heads that are the masks as though that's the full character. So what are you doing as an actor when that head comes off?
Man, so my understanding coming into the show is that we all have an animalistic primal side to us, and we have a human side to us. Yeah, and in the show, you can physically see that. That's why you can still see our face, but we also have our animal mask. And in that moment, it's a human moment for Mufasa. He's a king, but he's still a father. And in that moment, he needs to remove his crown and just speak to his son as a father to a son. And that's the most intimate that Mufasa will get with anybody in the show. It's in that moment with his son. Yeah.
Beautifully put. Very nice. How are we doing out in the internet?
I cannot pronounce his name. It is your cousin. And he is big
Talofa? Yeah, that means hello in Samoan.
He's out there watching.
Wow.
from the beautiful garden island of Hawaii.
Yeah, well, few see figure for
What is the most fun thing that you guys have done on the show? That is your cousin.
Yeah.
The most fun
most
thing
fun
you've
thing?
done on the show or on tour with the show? On the show.
So in the show, what's my favorite thing to do? You know, my favorite scene, oddly enough, is Grasslands. I just think it's so beautiful. When I first saw the show, I saw it in New York, and there's actually an elevator. So the men actually come up from the ground, and that was just amazing to me to visually see. And then to be a part of that, it was, I don't know, this is my favorite scene. The way we move with the grass and Mufasa talking to his son is, again, an intimate moment. That's my favorite part of the show.
You know, when we talk about this show, too, I think of it as one of the very few modern-day classics that's out there. And I think it kind of redefined how we told stories on stage through the visual and the look. And everything changed after Lion King.
Yeah.
When you guys get to walk through that each night or each day, What does it feel like being involved in this piece of history?
Listen, so that's actually my favorite part of the show, and it changes when you're in the show for a while. Different parts resonate with you or speak to you, and she's gonna think I'm just saying it because she's here. But right now, my favorite part is climbing the rock with the Queen, and in that's the only moment that we have to be together as King and Queen in the entire show. So believe it or not, as the rock is coming on stage and we're climbing, we've already had an argument. I've already serenaded her. We've laughed, we've joked, we've made up. And by the time we get to the rock, I'm so proud to be Sarabi's husband. I'm proud to bless my son. And that's become my favorite part of the show right now.
Oh my goodness.
You see that too. You see the pride in both of you.
Really? Oh, we're doing that great.
Okay, and I have an issue with that moment too in the show, because you can stand up there and hold baby Simba out and everyone cheers. Michael Jackson tried the same thing.
Oh,
let's go for another.
Okay, this is it, right. The next question is for me, and Nicole Pena, I cannot answer that question.
Oh, what was the question?
About my movie that I did in 2000.
Oh, this is for you?
Wow.
Well, we're sitting with royalty.
A movie star.
There's a great story about it, but this isn't about her tonight.
Thank you, Nicole. Bounce me down.
Okay, our next question then for you guys. You're touring with the show, you're taking it to different cities. Does the reaction change from city to city? Do you notice a difference in different communities, or do they all hit at the same point, the same moment?
No, and that's the beauty of live theater. It's amazing. There are certain cities we go to, we'll get a laugh, and another city we'll go to, and it'll be completely quiet. Like, what just happened? You know, I don't think that they enjoy it any less. It's just how people react. It's the culture of each city. One city we went to, I won't name it, there was a lot of drinking going on, so we had a very robust audience.
What, was that our audience?
No. I'll never tell. I'll never tell.
Now, you actually have a cool story, because you weren't born in the States.
Oh, no, actually, I was born in Tacoma, Washington, here in the mainland. Yes, but I moved to American Samoa when I was a baby.
Wait, you cut off where did you move to as a baby?
American Samoa.
American Samoa.
Yeah.
America. Right, but
Yeah,
it's not the
yeah, but not the mainland. That's one thing for sure. Yeah, I'm Samoan. Yeah.
Samoan, that culture.
Yeah.
So that's also like. So that's also a big difference as far as audience go, right? So in Samoa, when we perform, people, we call it fa'amu, we go, "Chiku," and we cheer people on to the point where you can barely hear the performers.
Wow.
So getting on the road where audiences in some cities are very respectful and introspective, I had to get used to that. And when my family or friends come and they make a lot of noise, or when islanders come and they support by showing, by expressing themselves through sound, some people in the cast are like, oh, must be Gerald's family here tonight. And I'm so proud. You know, I'm so proud.
That's right. And you went to school in Hawaii, correct?
I went to university in Hawaii, but I went to middle school and high school in Saudi Arabia in the Middle East. So I've just kind of been, as a true Polynesian, we voyage around the world wherever we got to go. The next opportunity is, that's where we go.
That's fascinating. Yeah. Okay, Sophia, how can you match?
I went to Paris. No, I'm from St. Louis. Yeah, I'm pretty much homebred, and I travel around, but not like that. He's got me beat. He's got me beat. You know, I did. You know, I sang in church choirs, school choirs, and I started doing theater in college. And I saw my first regional play. Believe it or not, my first professional theater was in college. That's when I saw it, and that play, it was Godspell.
Really?
And I was like, I have to do this. I have to do this for a living.
Gerald, what was your first show? Do you remember first thing you saw?
The first thing.
Oh, this will be
So let me preface this, but I came into the show very subconscious about not having a professional trained background with a degree on the wall, right? But I do come from the Polynesian people, and we have always passed our stories on through song and dance, right? So for me, learning how to take pride in that and realize there is power in that performance background that I have. So my first show that I saw professionally was actually Wicked. When they came to Hawaii, to Honolulu, I broke my neck at work, and my sister bought me a ticket as a Christmas present to go. So I went in my netcast with my cousins, watched Wicked for the first time. The second show I ever saw was Annie when we were in Schenectady. I caught the train down to New York City. Nothing was broken. And my third show was Lion King.
How did you break your neck?
Oh man, I was doing this Polynesian show. There's some shallow water diving involved, and it was an accident that we had. But listen, I'm here. I'm healthy.
And you can move. So what was
I can move. It was a long process, and it's still, I still got to work it out. But we're fortunate enough to travel with a physical therapist, and she's there to help us out whatever we need. It's a very demanding show too.
Well, I took off on that one. You were in the middle telling us about your career, and I jumped off when you mentioned what was the first
every
show
time you break off, he beats me with his story. So we've got to stop that.
You don't have to wait to see what he says.
Right. I have to go first, and then he has to go, okay?
Well, I don't have the looks, so I need something. I need stories,
Sophia's now going to tell us how she was in a coma for 17 years through a feeding tube. Well, we got a question for Gerald. Here we go.
Anything about or in Houston that reminds you of Maryland?
Oh, the humidity and the heat. And I've heard people in the cast complain like it's too hot, it's too humid. I'm loving it. I feel right at home. I'm right at home.
I'm just hot.
So is this your guys' first time in Houston? You've been here with this show?
I have. I was here in 2012. That was the last time I was here.
What would you like to show Gerald of Houston if you've been here before?
Oh my gosh, the Breakfast Club.
Yay!
I love the Breakfast Club, you guys. It's so good. The breakfast is so good. So yeah. That's what stood out for me. Yeah, so you have to go like on a weekday, not a weekend.
Well, weekend we're working all day, so weekday it is.
So
2 shows Saturday, 2 shows Sunday.
How long is the show here for? You guys are here for a while.
Until July 24th or 23rd.
23rd, yeah, 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Do you have other questions from me? We do. Folks, we know you're out there watching, but we need to hear from you.
We have a lot of love.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
You know what I'm being told? That there's a lot of love in this room for you two, and we've got to let you get to your party.
Oh, thank you so much.
I say that my favorite moment, which is so crazy because it's such a sad moment.
No, not really. You can't.
It's when you cry, when the women cry,
Yeah.
and the tears come out.
Yeah.
That gets me. I've seen the show 5 times. I've seen it in Broadway. I've seen it at home. That's the scene every time.
Excellent.
So isn't that part of the magic though, that this show, as a family show, I think we tend in today's day and age, we kind of shy away from death and from mourning, right? And this show tackles that head on, you know what I mean? It's a circle of life, right? It's a circle of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, they're telling me my mic is dead on me here, so I'm going to scream over to you. Oh, well, hello there. Thank you guys so much for doing this with us today. Thank you for bringing all of your talent to town with this show, because you guys really are just wonderful out there. And if you haven't seen The Lion King, you got to see this show. It's a piece of our theater history, culture, and it's all happening here at the Hobby Center. Thanks to Broadway at the Hobby. Thanks to all of you folks for tuning in and watching, and thanks to both of you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sophia. Thank you. Mwah. Gerald,
Yes,
thank you so much.
thank
Long
you,
distance
Mark.
hug.
Thank
There you
you,
go.
thank you.
Thanks for watching. We'll be back again.